Hello, CrossFit Linchpin. Monday, August 12th, 2019. If you're new to the program, welcome aboard. Maybe you've just received a sample week of programming, you're checking it out, and just thank you for giving us a shot. We do things a bit different here at Linchpin. One of our mottos is we say we do what's effective, not what's popular. We embrace intensity over volume. We're not interested in overtraining people, unnecessarily just pounding them with a barbell every day. We want people to have healthy knees, backs, and shoulders for decades and decades to come. And we do that through making intelligent decisions. We also say that ego has no place in the gym. Remove your ego, and we embrace scaling. Scaling is cool. Scaling is phenomenal. It's encouraged. It's celebrated. So, with that being said, let's kind of dive into the today, and I'll walk through what we generally do, and you'll get a sense of what we're all about here. So, after you do your warm up of the day, which is your head to toe warm up, preparing you for today's workout, which is 7 sets of 2 on the clean and jerk. After your warm up, you're not ready to just bang, knock out the first double clean and jerk. Then you start warming up, doing your warm up sets of the clean and jerk till you can get to your first double. So those 7 sets of 2, just to get the terminology down, those are your working sets. And everything before that is a warm up set and doesn't count towards those 7 doubles. A classic question will be, well, how heavy should I be on those 7 sets of 2? There's some variance in there. We're going to give some percentage chart numbers here in a second, but in plain English, they should all just be challenging. Okay, so if it's still a relatively easy weight for you, that's one of your warm-up sets. That doesn't count towards your 7 doubles for the working sets. Every one of those working sets should be a challenging weight relative to your capacity. You can do the same weight across all 7 doubles, or you can go up and down a little bit, as long as that little up and down still has everything in that challenging window. Or you could also try to PR your double today. So you've got access to all of those options, just whatever you want to do. It just needs to be challenging. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm going to give the percentages here in a second. For most people, to get the most weight overhead that they can, they're going to do a full clean, a squat clean, followed by a split jerk. That's going to be the lift to get the most weight overhead for most people. And so we're going to receive the bar below parallel, you're going to stand it up, and then you're going to split jerk it. If you're one of those individuals that can power clean more than they can squat clean, that's okay. That's okay. People have been there before, but we got some work to do. And if you are a push jerker compared to a split jerker, and that's how you get the most weight overhead, rock on, fantastic. Most people won't be there, but if that's where you are, do whichever one of those 2 movements gets you the most weight overhead. We have a video showing the full clean and the split jerk, and a video showing the full clean and the push jerk. The only thing we're going to do today, which is a bit unique, is we're going to do a 3-second pause at the bottom of the jerk, or the receiving position of the jerk. So if you stand up, you're clean, you get ready, bang, you jerk it overhead. When you're in your split, or you're in the receiving position of the push jerk, and the barbell's locked out overhead, we're going to stay there for a 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Then you're going to stand it all the way up to full extension and drop that barbell. And that's just going to help. There's many a bad lift that is saved or recovered by rushing out of the receiving position. And so this little drill, since it forces you to stay in that receiving position, you're going to notice any wobble, or notice if that position wasn't rock solid. And so it's just developing good positioning. Other common question we'll have, pardon me as I sip my morning coffee. For the doubles, do I have to hold on to the barbell? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I actually am really not a big fan of that personally. I don't think there's tremendous... It's not instrumental and critical to your fitness to have hundreds of pounds over your head, then crashing down on your front rack position, and then jolted back down to the floor so that you can link it and say that you did a touch and go. You don't need to do that. As a matter of fact, long term, I think your body would prefer if you didn't. If you have the capacity to do it and you're capable and you're comfortable, it's your choice. By all means, go ahead. But I don't want anyone to feel any pressure that these doubles have to be touch and go. That's not the case. You can do your double as you do your single, you drop it, then you just go right back down, get into a good tight set position, and do another quick single. So 2 quick singles, that's going to equal a double. And then between each one of those doubles, you'll probably rest 2 to 4 minutes so that you can fully recover and lift heavy weight again. So that's how the day should be attacked. Super Fitness Robot time. Every day we give a Super Fitness Robot time or number of rounds. And the Super Fitness Robot time is very challenging, highly competitive, but possible. And then the more likely time or the more likely number of rounds is, quite frankly, where the overwhelming majority of people will be. And it's still very challenging. So don't think that, well, if I don't hit the Super Fitness Robot time, that means that I'm a failure. That's not the case. Almost everyone's going to be in the more likely, but then I give this lofty goal just for those that like to chase it. So for today, there's not a time or a round, so we're giving a percentage. Super Fitness Robot for this is if you're holding 85% or higher of your 1 rep max clean and jerk across all those doubles. It's impressive. More likely is I think people will be at 70% or higher of their 1 rep across all of that. And the wonderful thing about today is, we give a scaled option, which we're going to get into right now. The scaled option is still a clean and jerk. It's still 7 doubles. The great thing about scaling on a lifting day, if you're comfortable with the movements, is just use less weight and get more rest, and you can scale it quite easily. But let's just say that a full clean and a split jerk or a push jerk are still complicated movements for a novice or a new individual, then we can still get in this day in a different manner, which is why I put clean and jerk and then in parentheses, or power clean plus push press, because that'll still get you our barbell from the ground to the front rack and locked out overhead. And we have a video showing the power clean and the push press. The limited equipment option. Our limited equipment option is really cool and very popular, which warms my heart. The limited equipment option assumes you don't have any fancy gear. There's no rowers, there's no GHDs, there's no assault bikes. You don't even have a barbell or squat rack. You have a pair of dumbbells, you have a pull-up bar bolted to your wall, you have a jump rope, and then you have a set of gymnastics rings just hanging from that pull-up bar. So not even hanging from the ceiling, they're low-hanging rings. And with that gear, which all said and done, you can get all of that gear for about $300, which I know is a good chunk of money, but you're done. For $300, you're done. You don't need to buy anything else, and you will become ferociously fit. And the dumbbells we generally assume are a pair of 50-pounders for men, a pair of 35s for women, just because several years ago when dumbbells made their appearance in the CrossFit Games Open, those were the loadings that came out, so most people acquired those dumbbells. But don't be afraid to scale it. I've got a pair of 50s in the garage, and I grab the 35s regularly because they're plenty challenging. So here's our limited equipment option for the clean and jerk doubles today. Bear in mind we're using dumbbells. Single leg, stiff-legged deadlift, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps per leg, video showing that. Then single arm dumbbell row, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps per arm, video showing that. Dumbbell hammer curl into shoulder press, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps per arm, video showing that. Bulgarian split squats, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps per leg, video showing that. And then lastly, dumbbell power clean and jerk, 40 repetitions in as few sets as possible. And we have a video showing that as well. And that is why I said you will not be shortchanged. We've had so many people have to do the limited equipment option because they were moving homes, or they were traveling across the country, or they were living out of their apartment, or they found themselves in the back of a firehouse or a military base or whatnot, and didn't touch a barbell for months, and came back and didn't lose any barbell strength, actually maintained or gained. So trust me when I tell you that the limited equipment option, it does not mean limited fitness. It is the real deal. And then accessory work. So the accessory work needs to be addressed also. Every day we post accessory work, and it's no joke. The accessory work is a serious dose of training. Accessory work, it's optional. You'll hear me say that. It's always optional. You do not need to do accessory work to be fit. And if you do choose to do it, the accessory work should add to your life. It should improve your fitness. It should be beneficial. But that means you're ready for it. If you're not ready for it and you do it just because it's written down and you feel some pressure to do it, which you should not, then it's probably going to leave you tired. It's probably going to leave you sore. It's probably going to leave you overtrained. And then that will lead you to go into the gym the next day with less intensity, less enthusiasm. And that's going to snowball in a negative area. We don't want that. So if you're ready for it, it's there. And it's intelligently programmed and laid out based upon where we've been, where we are today, and where we're going. If you're new to it and want to give it a try, just dip your toe in the water. Cut down the reps, cut down the loading, and just crawl, walk, run, and see how it treats you and play that game. So the accessory work, optional as always, clean pulls, 3 to 4 sets of 2 to 5 repetitions, and you're going to use 80 to 110% of your 1 rep max clean for that. And we have a video showing you the movement. And then you have a shooter's choice, some midline work. You can do hollow rocks, which I think most people probably will choose that option. Accumulate 30 to 60 repetitions. We have a video showing that. And I put 30 to 60 depending upon whether you're new to some gut work or a veteran. Or if you don't want to do the hollow rocks, there's a candlestick conditioning drill video. And you can click on it and then spend 5 to 10 minutes at whichever step in the progression is appropriate for you. It's very challenging, which is why I'm giving you an either or, hollow rocks, or watch that video and choose which section you need to do. There's nothing like some gymnastics work to suddenly make you realize that you've got a long way to go in your strength training, and that strength training has nothing to do with a barbell. It's so challenging to move your body in some of these positions that gymnasts make look so easy. It's humbling. So there's a lot of good stuff there. Cool down and stretching for the day. Cool down 5 to 15 minutes, casual, walking, jogging, biking, or rowing. Then we're going to stretch. And I put 5 to 15 minutes because real life gets in the way. If you can do 15, that's great. If you don't have that much time, you can only do 5, that's better than 0. Stretching is an area that people can overcomplicate unnecessarily. And hey, if you're doing something and it works for you, that's the greatest test in the world. Keep doing it. But if you're not sure what to do, you want a little bit of guidance, that's what we have here. And we've got about a half dozen lower body and a half dozen upper body stretches that they're not flashy, they're effective, and if you apply them consistently, good things will happen. So we have a front rack stretch. You're going to hold that 1 minute per side. We have a video showing that. And then a straddle stretch. Going to hold that for 1 to 2 minutes, and we have a video demonstrating that as well. That's it. That's everything we covered today. And once again, if you're new to the community, thank you so much for allowing us to be on your journey of long-term health and fitness. We have an amazing private Facebook page for the Linchpin community. If you are currently subscribed, then send us a request. We'll verify that you are a subscribed member, and we'll get you in there. And our private Facebook page is everything that Facebook should have been. It is positive, it's supportive, it's encouraging, it is really a community. It's awesome. People share stories and give advice and lift each other up. There's no negativity, there's no ego, there's no politics, there's no drama. It's a really cool place. So I highly encourage you to take advantage of that. I think you will find it very beneficial. Okay, on to tomorrow.